I've just been having the mick ripped out of me because apparently being interested in 3,000-year-old stones is boring. How you doing, guys, and welcome back, or welcome to another wee outing. Today we're doing something a wee bit different, not the usual hills and everything, because the missus and I and the dogs, we've came away for a week and we're staying up in Argyll and Bute again, and we found a nice little cottage in the middle of nowhere. So we've been staying here for the last week and the weather's been a bit on and off for the first couple of days. Today's our last day and we've got a wee plan that we're coming out to visit some of the sites around here. Things that I've wanted to see for a long time, but as I was looking into those, I discovered there's more and more stuff around this area. Amazing history, loads of Neolithic spots we'll get onto in a little bit. But the first thing I want to show you is just this absolutely superb ruin. It's absolutely amazing. You can go in and explore it. It'll take you, show you a couple of wee bits. But yeah, we'll start here. This is Carnasserie Castle and it's absolutely phenomenal. You can see already as you're entering the big ornate plaques where the coat of arms would have been situated. Now, first of all, I thought this door, in fact I've just noticed, look at this, one of the little pistol slots to obviously defend against anybody coming to the door. Oh wow, this is amazing. There's loads of wee markers on the wall which tell you which different sections are. So this would have been the kitchen, and I was reading this here is a water spout, so there's obviously running water coming in, and then in here this was the oven, and you can see the waste chute there, obviously all the rubbish and the waste water going out there. It's quite ahead of its time with kind of sanitation and running water, and they say that about 50 people would have lived in here, and it's absolutely stunning. I can't wait to go and have a wander about. As I've been wandering about the castle, there's so many of these pistol slots on each wall, basically facing all directions, so it was quite well defended. However, obviously not well enough, because I think reading on that board out there, I think it was about the mid 16th century, mid 17th century, the place was burned to the ground, and obviously all the stonework is all that's left. I think I see a dog. Oh, are you locked in or locked out? I've just come into this room just now, and as you can see, it's like some kind of cellar, kind of, not a dungeon because there's a well over there. Absolutely amazing. And we were just discussing there, this is probably one of the most intact ruins that I've seen for a long time, as in the state that it's in and how much you can go around it. Apparently you can go all the way to the top, which is where we're heading in a little minute. I'm now in here in the audience chamber, and it's absolutely amazing. That's what's described as on this little board on the wall as an audience chamber. I'm just reading there that John Carswell, who was a clergyman for this area, he had printed the first book in Gaelic, and there's an artist depiction on the wall there of him passing a copy to the Earl of Argyll in this room. And from the picture you can see there's a big fireplace, and that'll be this big fireplace back here, and I mean it's like 8 foot tall, 9 foot tall, something like that. It's absolutely stunning. And that's why I love coming to these places, because you just know that the artist's impression may be 100% accurate, but some business of historical order by very important people at the time took place in here. And you can see the different levels of where the different floors were, but obviously they've all perished over the years, over the centuries. But you can see the slots where the wooden struts or the wooden supports would have went across and created different floors, and all the doorways that led onto those different floors. Amazing. And you can hear one of my dogs. Jet! She is. Come on then, maniac. You coming? Let's go and see. We'll go through there in a little minute, but if I'm not mistaken, this is the toilet. Because outside there was a hole at the bottom of the castle, and it was described as a latrine hole, and it marries up where this is. So I'm thinking a wee candle or something in there. A little bit of a view and a vent maybe, out there. And in there is your 16th century toilet. And somebody would have had the unenviable job of emptying that at the bottom. Oh wow. Oh, amazing. Apparently it goes all the way to the top. Jeez, 5 floors. Let's head on up. Oh wow, look at this. I do have 2 crazy dogs though. Hats, Sad, Jet. Here's another stonemason's mark again. But look at this for a view. Jet! Oh, I just had a wee fear there. My 2 crazy dogs just went under the barrier and had a wee peek over, not realising it's 5 stories up. Oh wow. Look at all this. There's a date on there, 1885. A. McCall, Slochvillen. I did remember on the map somewhere there is somewhere around this area called Slochvillen or Slochavillen. I think that's where we're heading down to soon. But yeah, look at this. Absolutely amazing views. Unbelievable. Who would have knew this was even here? Well, probably a lot of people, but I only discovered it recently. So that is just a wee quick look on Carnasserie Castle. We're heading down this glen, it's Kilmartin Glen, and going to go and see a couple of things that I've wanted to see for a long time now. I've seen some examples, even out behind the cottage that we're staying. There's some, just, what's the word? Like, not prime examples of what I want to see, but having done a wee bit of research down here, there's some phenomenal examples of Neolithic art and history. So without further ado, let's get off this castle and start making our way down the glen. So we're now further down Glenmartin, down at the south, Nether, Largie, Cairn. There's 3 of these cairns all the way up the glen, but we've passed a couple all the way down, and we'll probably stop at them on the way back up, but we're going to have a look around. So these are the Nether Largie standing stones, and I've just been reading a bit there about them. They're marked in kind of like an X shape with a central stone, and they believe that they've been marked in the positions that, that mark the rising and the falling of the moon, and it's 18.6 year cycle. I didn't even know the moon had an 18.6 year cycle, but there we go. So I'm going to have a look around these. I'm not going to touch them though, because I've just read that they give good fortune to anybody who stays near them, but bad fortune to anybody who touches them, so I'll not be touching them. We've just been having a wee laugh there because there's, like I said, a bit on the board that says don't touch them because you'll get bad luck. And when I went and told the missus, I was like, yeah, don't touch them, you get bad luck. She's like, brilliant, I've already touched them. And no sooner has that happened than I've just had to try and reset the GoPro because something was happening with it. That might just be GoPro, it could be the bad luck. And I've just been having the mick ripped out of me because apparently being interested in 3,000-year-old stones is boring.
Standing stones? I mean, it's a standing stone.
With 3,000 years old, it's...
I know, but...
Know your thing.
You don't even know who put them there or nothing.
And that's why they're...
No,
that's why they're interesting.
No, but that's why castles are more interesting.
No.
It's steeped in history.
No, but you don't know who's done this.
Trace back.
You don't know who's done this, and that's what makes it mysterious. And you don't know why they're here.
It's probably Farmer Joe down the road who's put them up.
Right, here we go. Templewood Stone Circle that Farmer Joe has built, apparently. I completely get that. I find it interesting. But on to Templewood's Stone Circle, and we'll go up here and have a little view of this. It's just phenomenal to me how much Neolithic history is in this area. This is the central part of the southern stone, or the southern stone circle, and that's where the artist's impression they found phosphate. I think it was phosphate they said it was. Basically they found the remnants of a human being in the position it was laid in this here, somewhat 3,000 to 5,000 years ago. And then just over there was a grave site of a small child aged between 4 and 6. So it's clearly something quite spiritual that they've got these stone circles for. And apparently these are a lot more interesting than standing stones. I'm just looking now because on the board it says that the base of some of these stones on the outer circle, there is circular carvings or kind of spiral carvings, which they believe is something to do with the sun. And they've also found examples of that in Ireland and Orkney. And that's what amazes me. These places are so far apart, and it's not like the mobile phones are connected in any way, shape or form like that, or a postal system, and yet they were carving the same shapes into the stones. Unreal. Aha! I found the circles. So you can see there, very faint, those concentric circles in the stones. It's still not the best example of what I want to find today, because what I really want to find is some really prominent, really well defined stone circles and stone kind of cut marked rocks, and hopefully that's what we're going to find by the end of the day. So as I said, apparently standing stones are boring, stone circles are a bit more interesting, according to the missus. So now here at the Nether Largie southern Cairn burial tomb, there's another two up there. I think there's a central one and a northern one. But yeah, I'm just reading there on the board that this was built, they reckon, between 5,600 and 5,500 years ago. And you can go between the two portal stones, that's what they're calling them, and actually enter into this cairn. So when they were burying people of importance all those years ago, you can now actually go in and see where they would have been. Let's go and have a look. If you're in yet. Cool with it. Let's go and see. it just amazes me that you can pass through those portal stones, as they called them, and enter into here and just experience all this. It's absolutely amazing. And like the name suggests, portal stones, they're, they obviously believed that been put in here when they passed away on this earth, that they were going off to somewhere else, to their spirit was carrying on. This just blows my mind. I've just been told that there's another bit around here that you can go in also. I'm going to go and check this out. So that's the main tomb that we've just been in. And there is another part here. I would rather say you can go in it. I'm going to have to go in it now. It's not as big as what was made out to be a second ago. But I'm going to get myself in it regardless. This is kind of creepy. This is kind of weird that this would have been where somebody has been buried. I'm actually in somebody's grave. Born again. So we decided that we're just going to go head back up to the gorgeous little town of almost a wee village of Kilmartin. Where we parked the car, we've got a little trio of the Neolithic history walked around today, and I'll just keep the cup marked and ring marked rocks for another day. It just means I can come up here another day and come and view more, because like I say, there's more tombs up there. You can actually see them in the distance. So that's the central one and the northern one. There's so much, I keep saying, Neolithic history in this area, and it's just absolutely amazing. And what's also really nice about it is how well preserved it is and how accessible it is. So Historic Scotland have done a phenomenal job of making this accessible, and that was one of the things that I've done. I looked at the map and I saw that all these sites were here, but then I actually used the Historic Scotland app, and it tells you a bit more about them, so you can actually get a little insight into what you're actually going to view rather than just a name on a map. So that's an app to look out for, or visit the Historic Scotland website. But yeah, Kilmartin Glen, absolutely phenomenal. It's only a couple of miles long, and you've got all this history from the castle back at the top, Carnasserie Castle, down to these thousands of year old standing stones that are interesting to some and not to others. But until next time, I'll leave you with that and check out this area, and I'll see you on the next one.